Stavros Tousios from M4Markets. Today we're going to go back to the pound and also we're going to take a look at silver as well. When it comes to pounds, you see that we have been like rolling higher, and we did do that in somewhat of a corrective pattern. To me, these are the points that I'm looking at swing highs, major swing highs and swing lows over here as well. From there, this is like a flat pattern. And then we go up, and what is going on here, that we actually see a divergence down here, and we see something of a smaller scale, what we see in here. So fractally speaking, this pattern and this in the much smaller scale look similar, okay? At least up to that level, perhaps even initially. So this suggests two things. One is that this is an impulse to the upside. This is going to end up being a correction, a flat pattern, okay? And flat patterns typically of this style, they can have a false break to the top and a false break to the bottom and then continue higher. Or the other case I would be, and I am actually seeing because of the repetitive divergence signals on the RSI, would suggest that this is perhaps a corrective structure, and it's going to end up being an actual wedge, because wedges are contain just at this terminal stage close to the end of a trend, for example, whether it's short, medium or long term, they are of a corrective nature rather than anything else. Down on the 1 hour, we're going to see that double divergence signal that we've always talked about as well, okay, which again supports the idea of, further pressure to the downside. The major support, I would say, for intraday basis, maybe even not going to get there today if we even fall, it might be around 125.50, 125.60. Also the swing high at 125.80 is quite important, but that of course would require that 125 well, actually that's about the same level here, right? Yeah, that will require the break of that level first. On a more traditional point of view, let's not forget this could end up being an actual head and shoulders as well, which means we expect a short-term upside up to around 126.67 and from there go lower down. Unfortunately, the RSI doesn't give a very short-term signal, but from what we do know, pressure remains to the downside rather than anything else. Now, when it comes to silver, we have done a similar pattern that we did on pound, like the flat pattern potentially, but also from a traditional perspective, guys, you probably know the cup and handle pattern. Now, if this is indeed a cup and handle, now there is high potential for further upside, okay? And what we do, of course, see most of the time rather than not, is that we have a channel or a flag, you can say, of the handle, and the break above the top of that typically initiates the, in this case at least, upward leg. Of course, this is a diagonal trend line, and without breaking above 26.13, which by the way right now acts as a double top, then obviously we're not going to see any move towards the 27 and then perhaps higher level 28.80 and of course then 30, which is the major resistance that we also have to have in mind. Let's not forget that we also see pressure on the RSI. So one of the other cases we have to also keep in mind is that maybe this is going to turn into a triangle, any other sort of longer duration sideways market, or perhaps even we double top worked out and we're going to see a deep correction. Now these are all probabilities that I have to reveal to you so that you're prepared for all of these cases. So as we are here, we can use the previous swing and kind of determine where we are in the short term. As you see, we've managed to bounce at the 50, probably 1, 2, 3, like fourth time now. So there is high potential that this, in the short term at least, is going to move down to 25.10 and then perhaps lower to 24.81. But as long as we remain within this channel, guys, there is always the potential for a bounce. And that potential for a bounce is going to increase in terms of chances in switching to an actual reversal to the upside instead, only when we break above the median line of the channel. So you have to keep that channel on all the time and pay close attention to where prices receive rejections or they do a breakout or a breakdown.